Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Today's topic is the silent ways men test you. For the ones that don't know me, my name is Greta Berishita. I've been dating and relationship coach for women since 2016, so nearly 10 years. I have a YouTube channel. It's got quite a lot of subscribers. So I have a lot of videos there. But as I said today, the video is the silent voice men test you, and let me just write it down quickly here so I can pin it so people that pop on, we know what the topic is about. And let me just pin it. And I'll start talking about the tests kind of straight away. In the meantime, if you have questions, let me know. I'll look at your questions after kind of like midway with the topic, okay? So let's start. Why do guys test women? A man that is looking for a wife, he wants to see, do you have the qualities of a wife? So same as girls test guys, sometimes unintentionally, same guys test women as well. So we test to see for qualities in a wife. Also, we test to see, are you mature? Because women that respond to these tests emotionally, a lot of times he just classifies them as immature, not a wife material. And this is how you ladies get into casual relationships and are never taken seriously. So it's really important to pass the tests, as once you will pass the test, this is when you'll be like looking at you more seriously, and you'll grow, you'll mature yourself, you'll grow as a woman once you learn how to pass the tests. Because as people in life, we are always growing, right? We should always be maturing a little bit every day. So in a way, like passing these tests means first thinking before reacting, and when you're practicing it daily, or as much as you can, you're growing as a person, you're growing as a woman, and you're becoming more and more wife material. Okay, so let me give you some ways that guys test women. Number one, to see, are you available, your availability. So let's say you said to a guy to never ask you out at the last minute, to always ask you in advance, right? So let's say you put in this boundary, right? You say like, look, I'm actually really busy, I have things to do, please don't ask me out at the last minute, let me know in advance, right? So what he's gonna do, he will try and test your boundary to see, are you serious with it, by purposely asking you last minute. And if you're gonna drop everything for him and you will run to see him at the last minute, he will see you as you're not really sticking to your boundaries. So he'll see you as your word doesn't really have much meaning, like you don't stand by your word. So you're a bit like weak, you're a bit wavering. When people are wavering, you can't really trust them. So he'll actually lose a bit of trust and respect for you. And if you're just gonna run and see him at like the last minute, a bit like a booty call, he'll lose even more trust in you. So what do you do in this situation? How to pass this test? To pass this test, you just reply politely and gently and lightly and femininely, in a very mature way, saying something, hey, I would love to see you, but unfortunately I'm really busy, have a lot of plans, I can't cancel them. Next time, please let me know in advance. As simple as that. Don't need to shout, don't need to scream, don't need to pack your stuff and run to see him. You just gently tell him, oh, I would really love to see him, but unfortunately I'm really busy. Please next time let me know in advance. Another way how men test women could be them trying to see, how do you respond. This is like more like beginning. let's say by trying to make you jealous. I know this is really annoying and kind of stupid and silly and immature. And I think as women, we bloody hate this test. And I'm sure guys hate it too, because women do this all the time as well to men too. But what men do in the beginning of dating, especially in the beginning, so maybe he feels like you fancy him, or maybe you guys are just flirting, and now he's flirting with other girls too. So it's really important for you not to overreact when he's flirting with other girls too, especially in the beginning, because it will show your feelings. It will show that you care too much. When you're showing in the beginning that you care too much, a lot of times you're giving too much security to a guy, and he doesn't really want to pursue you anymore because he feels like he already got you. He's like, oh, she already likes me. The goal is already achieved. Guys like a bit of chase. They like to feel like, I need to conquer her heart. So you kind of have to be a little bit unavailable, especially in the beginning. Like you have to give, but not overgive. You give just enough. So he understands that he's into you, but you don't overgive in a way that he's fully like, oh, I know she's crazy about me. I know she loves me so much. I can see it by her seeing me at the last minute. I can see it by her overreacting all the time. You know, you can't give a man too much, because when you give him too much, especially in the beginning, he'll lose interest. He'll be like, the goal is already achieved. I'm not interested in her anymore. So when he's kind of flirting with others in the beginning, like don't pay attention, focus on your own stuff. Like you can actually even step back a little bit, like be a little bit more casual with him. Maybe you were flirting with him a bit too much. You can step back a bit and just be a bit more light, but don't do more than that. Another way guys test girls for flirting as well is when you're already in a relationship and he flirts with another woman. However, it's a test when he does it in your face. This is how you know his cards. When a guy flirts, sometimes guys will give that longer hug to a girl, and you look into your eyes directly, like you look for signs. He's literally like giving a longer hug to a girl, and he's looking at you, and he's like like having this cheeky smile, like he can't control. That's when you know that he's literally for you. It's to provoke you, to see will you overreact, to see what you will do. If you will overreact, he's gonna see you as immature, and he's gonna start taking you casually. Also, overreaction shows that you care a lot, that you have feelings for him. Remember, ladies, in a relationship with secular guys, let's not call them like girly guys, let's call them a bit more secular guys. In a relationship with a secular guy, you win when you don't show your emotions that much. If you would be dating a guy, a church guy, and you're quite serious and all of that, I'm sure he just wouldn't do that, because it's quite inappropriate to make you kind of jealous like that. He would just not behave that immaturely. But with secular guys, the guys out there that are not really practicing, that don't have, that are just kind of living for their own selfishness, you kind of have to learn how the world works, what their belief system, and how to kind of handle it in a way that you come out a winner. Otherwise you will just fail in these relationships, and you'll just be like, okay, she's like, by today's society norms, it's quite difficult actually, because as a woman you have to be insanely cool in Western culture. Let's call it more like Western culture. You have to be very cool, because a lot of guys have, let's say in England, a lot of guys have exes as friends, so you have to show no jealousy towards that you're insanely secure and confident, and you have like no insecurities towards that. You have to control your behavior in a way that you're not needy, not chasing. You also need to show that you trust him. There's kind of a lot of requirements. It's kind of like secular men nowadays nearly expect you to behave perfect. And if you don't behave that perfect, as I call it, high value, we go for someone else. We just don't stick around with you. We just call you too emotional, too illogical, too immature. We call you crazy, and we just stop dating you. Whereas guys, let's say, that are more like practicing, or like Christian guys, church guys, we understand you're not perfect. We understand that, let's say, flirting with somebody that you're in someone else, and you're in a relationship, it's unacceptable, it's inappropriate. So their values are a bit different. So it's easier. It's much easier. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, I went off the topic. So continuing, right? Silent waste men test women. So if he's flirting with somebody and it's a secular guy you're dating, no reaction is your best card, because the less feelings you show, the more you will win. With a guy that is more like a practicing Christian, if you'll give him a little bit of a dirty look in a relationship when he's flirting with somebody, he'll know. But to be honest, he wouldn't probably even flirt, because he knows it's unacceptable. So it's best no reaction in all cases. It's like when you show that you don't care, that's when a guy gets intrigued, like why she doesn't care. Like, does she not have any feelings for me? And that's when we step it up. When you ladies show that you really care by giving, by pursuing, by chasing, that's when he's feeling comfortable. That's when he starts to take you for granted. That's when he doesn't try to become a better man. That's when he's just chilling and like does whatever he wants to do, because like he already has you. He can already see that you're crazy about him. You're all over him. So he's like, what's the point for me to put any effort in? She's I got her. So if you want a guy to keep pursuing you, kind of have to be a little bit like, don't be like, I love you like a parrot. Let him do that. Because at the end of the day, it's a man that finds his wife. It's a man that needs to treat you in a gentle way. It's a man that needs to give you safety and security. So it's a man that needs to be pouring his heart out to you and protecting you and loving you. It's you as a woman, you just need to be receptive, be kind, be nice, but don't overwhelm him with your love, because he'll lose inspiration to charm, pursue, and give. Pour your love into something else. Pour your love into God. Pour your love onto your children. Pour your love onto a charity. To a man, be kind, receptive, be loving. Like, you can love him, but don't love him in a way that you want to be loved. Love him in a way that a man wants to be loved. So respect, a bit of admiration, showing self-respect, not arguing, not bickering, letting him lead. That's how you give your love to a man. And a man appreciates it, because this is the way that he wants to be loved. Not like, oh, like, I love you, like a parrot, and like trying to romance him and all of that. No, that's how women want to be loved, not men. If you're gonna love a man like you expect him to love you, you will lose him, because that's not how men want to be loved. I remember I had a client who, I think she was from Cyprus. She, for her boyfriend's birthday, I think she put like rose petals everywhere. She tried to surprise him. She like like made it all really, really special and insanely romantic for him. He walked in, he saw everything, and he turned around to her and he said, never ever do this for me again. He said, I'm a man, not a woman. He got really turned off by that because he used to sweep her off her feet all the time by being very romantic towards her. And when she did it back to him, he got so like irritated and like he was like, oh, yuck, this is disgusting. You know, because he's a man, he's not a woman. So how do you love a man? By appreciating what he gives you, by respecting him, by following when he leads. But if to follow a man when he leads, you also have to make sure that you're picking a good man. If you're picking a guy that plays hot and cold, that gives you chaos and mixed signals and drama, you can't follow a man like that. So you're going to be disrespecting him. So he'll never feel your love for him. So he'll keep playing more games with you. You know, so you kind of have to choose a good guy in order to follow him when he leads. That's how you will be able to give him your love. Okay, another test what guys do for women. Let me see. Oh, when we do these little tests, for example, he, let's say, was texting you every single day and now one day he doesn't text, right? That could be a test. That could be a test to see how will you respond to this. Will you chase him? Will you cry? Will you be baby like, what's wrong? What's going on? Why I haven't heard from you today? You know, he's kind of checking to see how will you react. Will you get all needy? And he may purposely not reply to you for a whole day, or he may purposely not call you back just to see will you get insecure. He might actually then check, like, when you get insecure, do you chase him? Do you accuse him of things? Or do you just leave it? The best is if he steps back for a day. Yes, you can text him, hey, how you been, or something, or sending him like a funny meme or something, right? You can do that, but if he doesn't respond, leave it. Wait for him to respond in his own free time. Have your emotional control. Stay secure. Stay confident. That's how you win, by showing emotional maturity. Sometimes guys test girls, and this test is like in every single book, is I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you tomorrow in the evening, and he never calls. So I had this for myself many times. Probably majority of my clients had it. It's like the most common thing in a book. How do you react to this? So the way to look at it is more like looking at a guy like, okay, you're behaving really immature here. You're behaving really disrespectful here. So if anything, your attraction towards him should drop, because who wants an immature guy, right? Who wants a Peter Pan? Everybody deserves, like, if you're dating, you should be a mature man, not like a Peter Pan kind of syndrome, right? However, you are not here to raise a man. You are here to be a woman for him. So if he says, I'm gonna call you, and he doesn't call, don't react, don't say anything. Next time when he texts you or calls you, maybe don't pick up for that long, like leave him a little bit, like wait, you know, let him a little bit wait. Or pick up like nothing happened, like you never, you know, like you forgot about it, like you didn't notice it. Going forward, then what I would do, if this is what happens, going forward, what I would do would be, when a guy says to you, Greta, I'll call you tomorrow, or I'll call you tonight, but last time when he did that, when he said that he didn't call, I wouldn't wait for his call. I would do my own thing. So I would go shopping, or I would go to the gym, or I would go, like, I would be really busy. I wouldn't wait for his call again. So then if he, let's say, doesn't trick me and he does call me, you know, and he says, oh, what are you doing? What is that sound? Oh, I'm in the gym. Oh, but I said I'm gonna call you. Oh, well, I'm in a gym. Like, I mean, I can talk to you, but it's gonna be like uncomfortable for him to talk. And if he says like, oh, why you didn't wait? Well, I didn't know are you serious or not, because last time when you said that, you didn't call. So, I got busy. So that way you're kind of teaching him a lesson. I actually remember, I'll share my story with you ladies once. I used to date a guy who was an amazing guy actually, but he used to play these little tests on me all the time. And it's kind of funny. So he would always be late, like about quite a long time, like 15 minutes, like on prompt. Like he would always be late. So I learned to be late as well. Like I was like, okay, if he's always late, I'm gonna be late. Like I'll always come like 15 minutes later or 20 minutes later, just so I'm not the first one, right? And I remember we were supposed to meet like outside this underground, because I lived in London and he lived in London as well. So we were supposed to meet outside this underground. And he said to me, okay, babe, I'll see you at like 3 o'clock outside this underground. I said, okay. And 3 o'clock came and I come out of the underground. He's not there. And I'm like thinking to myself, you know what? I'm going to go to the shopping center and just go look around the clothes. And once he's there, he will text me, right? So I am walking in the shopping center, looking at the clothes, and I kind of got lost in between, like looking at these clothes and stuff. And it's like 40 minutes go past, right? And I like lost track of time. And to be honest, I didn't even think much of it. I'm like, maybe he got stuck somewhere, maybe something happened. But I had no doubts he's not gonna show up because we had a really good relationship. So I was like, he's definitely gonna come, but maybe something happened. So I'm like looking at the clothes. And then I hear from very far in the shopping center somebody kind of whistling, like, I can't whistle, but like somebody like a little whistle. And I don't pay attention. And then that person does that whistle again, like literally from the other side, from far. And I'm like, okay, this is him. And I turn around and it's him, and he's like in a complete panic. And he's like, babe, I've been looking everywhere for you. Why you didn't wait for me underground? He's like, I was waiting there for like half an hour. And then I was thinking like, where could the girl go? And I'm like, okay, there's a shopping center here. Maybe she went there. And I was like, well, I actually texted you letting you know that, look, I'm actually going to the shopping center, and just text me when you're there. And he's like, show me your text. And I show him my text, and he calmed down. And then he said, babe, I never got your text because my phone died. So he's like, so then I texted you like, I'll see you at 3 o'clock in the underground. Like, outside underground, my phone literally died and I never got your text. And he's like, why you didn't wait for me? I'm like, well, you're always late, so I thought I'll just pop into the shopping center and you'll text me when you're there. Long story short, while I told you the story, he was never ever late again, literally. So sometimes we just need a bit of like a taste of their own medicine. But in my case, this medicine wasn't on purpose. It just happened naturally. It was like, okay, I'm not waiting like outside in this cold. I'm just going to pop into the shopping center and like entertain myself there. And he's going to find me when he finds me, And yeah, so that's how it happened. So, so what are kind of the tools, when guys try to trigger you or test you? How do you handle it? You handle it by not reacting to the test. That's one of the ways. Other times, giving him a taste of his own medicine. So, if he's doing it to you, don't react it, but then do it to him. But don't admit to him that you're kind of doing it back to him. This is, the thing that guys do actually a lot. When we testing you or we doing something cheeky, we never admit that. We don't admit that we're doing something cheeky. Whereas women, when confronted, a lot of, like, majority of the time, a woman will admit that she uh, don't admit it. It's like, I'm not telling you to lie, but like, just like, if he confronts you, just kind of have an excuse ready. That's what guys do. We have an excuse when we're doing something cheeky. We have an excuse ready. For example, if you will confront him by making you jealous, he will be like, "No, babe, I was just being friendly." He's not gonna admit it. He's not gonna admit that he was making you jealous on purpose. He'll just be like, "No, I was just being friendly." If you're gonna confront him by purposely not messaging you for a week, he's not gonna admit that he purposely didn't message you for a week. He will just say, "Oh, I was just busy. I was just really busy. I don't know. It's not a big deal. I was just really busy. I have a life, like I was really busy." They don't admit it. So, like, there is not really a point to confront it. It's more like you observe the action. If you're seeing cheeky little games, pay attention to those and give him a consequence, like an indirect consequence. Maybe you stepping back, maybe you losing interest, maybe you thinking it's too immature for me, I have other options, going for another option. But confronting him doesn't really work, because it's like it doesn't, he'll just give you an excuse, because we always have an excuse ready when this happens. Right, okay, let me look at your, okay, let me give you another test. Just at the back of my head. He might try to make you insecure on purpose. So let's say you're in a relationship, and let's say you're dating a guy that's, I'll call it not Christian, right? Not a practicing Christian, because guys that are really practicing Christians, we just don't play these immature games. I mean, not in my church anyway, from what I've seen. But secular guys in London, in New York, in USA in general, and many other places, Middle East plays a lot of games as well, like French guys, everybody, like a lot of people, So they try, basically what people try to do, they try to get a rise out of you. They try to wind you up. So how do you wind a woman up? By making her insecure, by making her look insecure, by making her feel insecure. So how do you make her feel insecure? So let's say if you're in a relationship with a guy and you've been sleeping with him and etc., and you gave him a lot and you're like da da da, you're really invested, he might, let's say when you're leaving his house, he might just be like, "Babe, like, don't forget, like, do you have everything? Did you got everything with you? Like, don't leave anything here. Don't forget anything." And then as you're leaving, you're feeling insecure, like, why can't I forget anything? Like, what does that mean? Are you gonna break up with me? Are you like, why you don't want me to leave anything in your house? Is there another? You see, like, he's digging to make you insecure, right? And he knows what he's doing. He knows he's digging this to make you insecure. He knows he's provoking you with this, like, don't leave anything, And what do you do? Like, no, babe, like, no, I'm going to take everything. I'm going to take everything. I would actually do the other way around. I would be like, oh, I need to make sure that I have everything, like, do I have everything? Yes, you have. Like, you can do it the other way around to make him insecure, how you don't want to leave anything in his house because you may not be coming back. You see, so you can turn it around. But at the end of the day, it's all just little ridiculous games, and very mature, and it's all the aim to make you feel insecure. And when you feel insecure, when you trigger, you overreact, you start to think about the guy, you start to worry, etc. And then, a lot of times women start to chase, blah blah blah. The guy starts to, we kind of get their ego gets stroked out of your out of your, insecurities and emotions and showing how much you care, out of your caring, their ego gets stroked. This is why we do it. So you don't want to stroke his ego for making you feel insecure. So like act like you couldn't care less. Yeah, I got everything. Oh, if I leave something, just throw it in a bin, it's fine. Like the less you act like you care, the more they chase you, the more they run after you. As soon as you show emotion, it's hard. But you also have to have this balance. If you're really, really cold, guys will just not pursue you because we don't want to get hurt as well. So you need to have this balance where you're showing warmth, you're being nice, you're being kind. But when he is trying to make you like overreact with all of these things, you hold yourself, you stay calm, you stay aloof, you don't react to the stuff. And to be honest, ladies, when you're mature, when you're a bit older, we all like seen these games a million times. Every bloody guy plays it. When you're a bit older, you've seen it all like a million times. It's so easy not to react because you're just like, oh, again. You just look fed up. It's like these games make you feel not jealous, not sad, but just like fed up. Oh, another guy that's playing exactly the same game from the same old book or from these 10 books that's saying the same thing. It just makes you look fed up. It's like, been there, seen that. Like, do you have anything better going on? And that's when you actually get interested in good man. When you get fed up by these players, that's when you actually get interested in good man. And that's when chaos and drama and mixed signals and hot and cold doesn't excite you, doesn't provoke you, doesn't make you go like, oh, what is he thinking? Why is this? Why is that? It just makes you look like, oh, another loser, another creep, So yeah, sorry, I went off the topic. So these are my thoughts. Let me see your questions. I'm gonna look at your questions. Do you ladies have any questions for me? By the way, I have a lot of videos for sale, such as I have High-Value Women course for sale. The link is in my bio to get. I have a video for sale, Games Men Play on Women. It's in my bio as well. How to go from single to happy, healthy relationship. How men fall in love. Lots of videos for sale. All you need to do is go and check out my links in my Instagram bio, or just go directly to my website, gretabrishide.com. I do one-on-one coaching. I have lots of packages for that. Feel free, once you book me, once you pay, once you book me, then we will arrange the time and date to speak. It can happen really, really soon. Literally most likely on the same week or the latest the next week, depending when you book me. Okay, so let me look at your questions. If someone crosses your boundaries after meeting you a few times, like sexually, do you continue being with them? It's up to you. These things are your decision, because we all choose a man that we feel is a right man for us, right? So if you feel like these are your boundaries, you can set in boundaries. This could be like a test as well. A lot of men, let's say in London, majority of men will ask you to, can I come over after one date? Majority of men will ask you that let's say in London, right? So you say like, oh, no, thank you, or, I don't really, I like to bond with a guy first. I don't do this type of stuff so quickly. I'm a bit old school, so that's one of the tests as well, to see, are you easy? And can he get things easily? If he's trying to kind of push your boundaries after a few dates, you could like gently just kind of push away his arms and just be like, slow down there, tiger. And then that's it. That's your boundary itself. Sound is low. Is it? I have had patients have a guy say, oh, do you wax your mustache? And one overreacted and the other one was cold. Guess who's still together? Was cool, yeah. Yeah, the cool one is still together, right? I'm telling you, guys tease women. You know, like I've been actually said this, somebody said this to me as well, and I'm like, I don't have any hair. I'm like, I'm hairless, you know? I'm like blonde. It's like, if it's like, wow, like where did you learn that line? You know, it's so ridiculous. It's just not reacting. We usually stop with these games once we fall in love with you. You see it in a guy in the beginning, we all cheeky and it's all about the game and this game and another game and etc. etc. But once we actually start to develop feelings for you, once we actually fall in love with you, these games we like slow down. It's still a little bit here and there, but we really, really slow down. Let me see here. Which dating apps do you recommend for Christians? Try them all. I would recommend for Christians church. A church is good for Christians, not dating apps. Dating apps is okay, but like a church would be good. I have been talking with him since 1 week on Instagram. He has not yet asked for my number, but is planning a meetup. That's fine. Said something sexual, but later said it meant something else. Is the red flag. Maybe it was a test to see how will you respond to the sexual comment. And because you set in a boundary, he said, oh, I was just joking. That's what guys do. They say something stupid to test how will you respond. And when you respond to it negatively, they go like, oh, I was just joking, you know. So you can still meet up. He might just want to communicate with you through Instagram for a while. A lot of guys communicate, if we are on dating apps, we only communicate through dating apps until we actually like you and see that it's kind of leading somewhere else. Or sometimes just through Instagram without asking for a number. So if it's gonna start leading somewhere else, he might ask you for more. You can go. If you're gonna go somewhere public, nothing gonna happen. You know, you have a coffee or you go for dinner, and when you decide after, it's like it's not gonna hurt. It's not too much of a risk. Greta, your advice helped a lot last time. I have decided not to chase and write to men first. So I delete a man number, and he wrote me in the afternoon, and I responded to his message the next day. Good. You see, this advice is good. This advice is good. Okay, ladies, I'm gonna leave you with that. Thank you all for joining. Have a blessed day. If you need some one-on-one coaching, I'm here. You can always book me. Lots of love. Bye, ladies.